Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the winter 2023 semester at the University of Alberta. I just wanted to take a few minutes to say hello and give you some ideas on how I'm going to run the classes I'm teaching this semester. So, I guess I'll start with who am I? My name is Robb Sombach. If you've had me on other semesters, I will say hello. If you haven't met me before, then I'm looking forward to the semester with you. Please do not hesitate to reach out to me in many different ways. I think the best way probably to get hold of me is either in person in class, just come up and say hello, or you can email me. I do my best to keep up with my email. It does get pretty heavy during the middle of the semester, so some things do get lost. If you have an important message for me, my recommendation to you is to please reach out to me in person and get what you need from me. I'm here to support you. I'm here to help you. So please, if I'm not answering emails, I do prioritize on which ones I spend my time answering. Obviously, class-based ones are important, but if you're looking for perspectives or just want to have a conversation, you want to meet for coffee, I'm absolutely happy to do that. Please reach out to me, in person if that's something that's possible for you. I do have LinkedIn. You're welcome to look at it. I don't keep it up to date, and I use it as a glorified address book. So this semester I'm teaching 5 sections. I'm teaching 2 BTM sections. I'm teaching 3 400 level classes, 419, 424, and 441. So this welcome video is intended to reach all students in all of my sections here. My office hours this semester, I will host both in person and virtually using Google Meet. You can find the link to my Google Office in eClass. It's listed in my interactive media or just a folder under my name in BTM 311. There's a link in there for a Google Meet, so you can join that during the office hours. And so I'll host them weekly on Tuesdays and Wednesdays from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. If that doesn't work for you, please reach out to me, as I said, by email or come see me in class and we can make an appointment to meet. I prefer, if I'm going to meet outside those hours, to do it virtually. I can much more flexible. I'm not super interested in driving to the university to meet a student for 10 minutes. So I think one thing I've learned over the pandemic is that the virtual meetings are something that really provide flexibility and allow me to provide help to students. So if those hours don't work, Tuesdays and Wednesdays from 11 till noon, please reach out. And I know some of you will have a class on those particular times. Just reach out to me and I can definitely schedule something with you. A little bit on how I'm going to deliver this class. I've really adopted a blended approach to my classrooms, something I learned over the pandemic. I think the pandemic really opened my eyes to a lot of possibilities. Being in business technology management, I've been helping businesses for many years use technology to help achieve their goals. And so I never really used it in the classroom. And so the pandemic really forced me to think about different ways to deliver materials, to provide some flexibility and support to students. And so I've adopted a blended approach. And what that means is, from an in-person perspective, tend to think of this as the synchronous way of delivering things. I will deliver all of my lectures live in person in the classroom. While I'm in the classroom, I will kick up a Google Meet and again, look in eClass to find the classroom meeting links. Every section has their own classroom, just like we do in the business school. And so you can join the live class online through Google Meet if you would like. I'm absolutely open to questions and discussions. I do keep an eye on the chat. I do keep an eye on hands being raised, both in classroom and in the Google Meet classroom. So please feel free to interrupt. I can talk for hours and hours on end, but having conversations and listening to your questions and being able to sort of talk about discussions in ways that answer and are relevant to you, I'm really interested. So please do interrupt and just raise your hands, and I will definitely answer it. I think one thing that blended learning has given us is the ability to be flexible. And so just be aware that, and it's noted in all of my syllabuses, I may deliver some in-person classes online, depending on events during the semester. And that's things like the weather. If the Environment Canada is saying, like, don't drive in the 40 centimeters of snow that's out there or the freezing rain, then I'm not going to drive into campus. I will deliver those classes online. I don't need to make my way there. I'm not sure I want to put my life in danger. And so just be aware of that some classes throughout the semester may end up being delivered online. And that can be things like weather, or maybe I get sick or something like that, or a cold. And the university, I think, is still encouraging us to stay away if we're not feeling well. And so that gives us a bit of opportunity. So I will always make my lectures available to you live and in person in most cases, definitely live on the Google Meet. I may end up posting lectures from last semester. I just have that opportunity now. So I'll notify you through eClass in any sort of way. So do keep an eye on that. If you shut off all your notifications on eClass, I would suggest checking in to the announcement board. I will be making important notifications there. And frankly, it's on you if you miss some important deadline or some important an announcement that I've made. So I'll notify you of any changes through eClass, whether I'm going to be in the classroom or if whether it's just going to be online, or maybe I post a recorded video. In the last semester, I ended up recording a couple of lectures just on the weekend and published them for you, and it was sort of available. So be prepared for that. From an asynchronous perspective, all of the assignments, the group projects, the group work are able and expected as in any normal semester, and this is a normal semester, is to do that work when it suits you. And so that's sort of that asynchronous sides of things. I'm continuing with my asynchronous exams or quizzes. I will use eClass quiz formats. I don't proctor. Most of my exams are open book, open internet. Obviously, I will provide more details in each of my individual classes on how the exams or quizzes are going to be delivered. But generally, I stick with a open book, open internet, asynchronous exam. Usually I give students 24 hours to start an exam. And then once you start an exam, you get a period of time to finish it. And that can be a couple hours, it could be 3 hours, it could be 10 hours, whatever. More details to come. As I've said, I'm going to deliver my lectures in person, and I'm also going to stream those. Well, while I stream them, I will be recording them. And I will take that video and I will upload it to eClass shortly after class. I just wait for Google to send me a link to the video, and if I'm not in another class, I will definitely post it to YouTube and then post it to eClass, either in my folder or in my interactive media folder. Again, keep an eye on your eClass announcements. I'll send out, I usually time my announcements, and so keep an eye on those. Again, if you've shut off all of the notifications, keep an eye out for them and pop into the announcement sections in eClass. And then I always have participation. It's important for you to be involved in your learning. And so that takes the form of maybe weekly exercises. Again, those are asynchronous. They tend to be available for a few hours or a few days, depending on the class. Discussions I'm trying to use more online discussion boards, not only eClass, but I'm thinking of some other technologies that I'm going to perhaps use in some of my classes this semester. So that's all sort of asynchronous. It's up to you to check in and to use them and to keep informed of what you need to do, but be prepared to sort of take some responsibility, and I'm going to give you the opportunity to do this. If a student asks me, could I do this class entirely remotely? That's my intention. I may not say do it asynchronously and save all of the videos and all of the work and everything up till the end of the semester. That's not going to happen. But during any given week, you will have quite a bit of flexibility to get the lecture materials, to do any assignments, exercises, exams, all that kind of stuff. So on a weekly basis, I would suggest at the beginning of each week, just be aware of where you need to be and what needs to be done. Listen to the lectures, either in person, recorded, streamed, whatever it is, and make sure that you get the work you need to get done. Because my opinion today is I'm giving you every opportunity to get materials in my class. I understand if you don't want to be in an 8 a.m. class on Tuesdays and Thursday mornings, but it is up to you to get those. I'm not going to force you to do it. I don't have time to do that again. I think that brings me to my next point is you're adults, you're professionals, and you take responsibility for your own learning. So more to come in a second here. I just wanted a quick note on what business technology management is. If you have taken a BTM class before, then great. I think you're aware of this. I just want to set some expectations up front. As a definition I've been trying to use in all of my classes, and when I talk to people and prospective students about this, I always say BTM provides businesses with the tools to develop a plan for integrating and using technology to achieve their goals and objectives. What this means is, in a class like BTM 311, it's very high level. There is a lot of topics that we're going to cover in a class like BTM 311. Well, every one of those tools, those technologies that we introduce you to, are used to help businesses achieve their goals, their strategic goals and objectives. BTM is not about computer programming. It's not computer science. It's not mathematics. It's not engineering. You will use a bit of mathematics to, add budgets and those kinds of things in some of my classes. You will have to think sort of logically about how things work, like business processes. What do we do first? What do we do second? What do we do third? Where are the decisions? But you're not going to do a lot of programming. If that's what you're interested in, then maybe look at computer science. I think most students in the business world today appreciate the technology. Well, how do you use that technology? I will say you are technologists. You are technology people. You are some of the first generations that's grown up with technology your entire lives. How we apply that to business problems, that's what BTM is going to talk about. And so be prepared to be a professional. Remember, you are business students. I'm going to treat you as business professionals. So that means taking responsibility for your own successes. Again, as I said earlier, keep up with your lectures, with your assignments, with your exercises. You've provided many ways to get the materials. They're there for you. And it's part of my delivery method is to provide you with those resources, and those uh, lectures and the information. Take advantage of them. Ask me questions. As business students, be prepared to solve problems. Be prepared to use abstract thinking. And I think this is one thing that is difficult for some students that come into BTM classes is the idea of abstract thinking. We're coming up with ideas. Think of, if you've ever wanted to start a business, how hard it is to come up with an idea. Well, that's BTM. There's not a right way to build a mobile app. There's not a right way to build a web app. There's many different ways to do those kinds of things. And so our job as BTM professionals is to think about those in abstract ways. What are the problems they're trying to solve, and where does the technology fit into it? So focus on learning, being exposed to different perspectives. That's what BTM classes are about. Remember, this is one of 40 classes in your degree, right? All of those other classes you're taking, your marketing classes, your OM classes, your accounting classes, your finance classes, they're all valuable. They're all about business. And so BTM kind of says, let's take everything we've learned about a business and come up with solutions. So if you're going to build an accounting program, we're going to have to know about accounting, right? If you've taken an accounting class, that becomes very valuable. And so we take those kinds of ideas with us in BTM. And then lastly, I do care about writing and communication. This is a component of all BTM courses. So we value professional, clear, concise writing. You're going to get practice writing. This is not an English class. This is not a business communication class, but you should be prepared to write at a 400 level or a 300 level class. Pardon me. Reference everything. That is not your own work. Use any referencing format you prefer, and then look in the syllabus, and I'll talk about this on the first day. See your syllabus for more information. Right, I provide a couple of links there to referencing your work. In most of my exams, I give you at least at the 300 level in BTM 311, we give you a format for referencing. If you prefer APA or MLA, use it. But the important thing is that you reference work that is not your own. Right? Remember, we are in a very highly respected research university. And so anything that's not your own work, reference it. Your thoughts helps you sort of form ideas of where you got some of that information, and maybe in the future course, or maybe in your future as a business professional, you may remember that you talked about something or had a link, and you want to go back and find it. So reference anything that is not your own work. And I'm not going to tell you in some cases, I'm not going to tell you, like, include a table of contents. In business communication, if you've got more than a few pages, get in the habit of putting a table of contents. It may not be part of the exam, but in a rubric that says, professional writing and organization, and you don't include a table of contents, you may be penalized some. So, be prepared to communicate. BTM is definitely about communicating technology ideas in a clear, concise way, and it often involves speaking, often involves writing reports, it often involves emails. And so we do place value on clear, concise, professional writing, and there will always be a component for that in a business technology management class, a BTM class. All right, that wraps up. Maybe a little bit longer than I wanted. I hope to get around 10 minutes, but 3 minutes over that, I think I'm fine with. So I'll see you in the first class. For homework for all of my classes, just read the syllabus. It's available in eClass. Have a look at it. Bring any questions you have. I'm not going to review every section in detail throughout. It just takes too long. But be prepared for what that is. This is our agreement on working forward. So BTM 311 starts on January 5th. I think all of my other classes start on the following Monday and Tuesday. So have a great rest of your holiday. I will see you on the first day of class. Please do reach out if you've got any questions prior to class. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you next week.